A Necessary Evil by Abir Mukherjee. Read by Simon Bubb. You can't make an omelette without breaking heads. 1. Friday, the 18th of June, 1920. It's not often you see a man with a diamond in his beard. But when a prince runs out of space on his ears, fingers, and clothes, I suppose the whiskers on his chin are as good a place as any. The massive mahogany doors of Government House had opened on the stroke of midday, and out they'd glided, a menagerie of Maharajas, Nizams, Nawabs, and others, all 20 of them, draped in silk, gold, precious gems, and enough pearls to sink a squadron of dowager countesses. 1 or 2 claimed descent from the sun or the moon, others from one of 100 Hindu deities. We just lumped them all together and called them the princes. These 20 were from the kingdoms closest to Calcutta. Across India there were more than 500 of them, and together they were rulers of 2/5 of the country. At least, that's what they told themselves, and it was a fiction we were only too happy to endorse, just so long as they all sang Rule Britannia and swore allegiance to the King-Emperor across the seas. They processed like gods, in strict order of precedence, with the Viceroy at their head, into the blistering heat and towards the shade of a dozen silk parasols. On one side, behind a solid red line of turbaned soldiers of the viceregal bodyguard, stood a scrum of royal advisers, civil servants, and assorted hangers-on. And behind all of them stood Surrender-Not and me. A sudden burst of cannon fire, a salute from the guns on the lawn, sent a murder of crows shrieking from the palm trees. I counted the blasts, 31 in total, an honour reserved solely for the Viceroy. No native prince ever merited more than 21. It served to underline the point that in India this particular British civil servant outranked any native, even one descended from the sun. Like the cannons, the session the princes had just attended was purely for show. The real work would be done later by their ministers and the men of the Indian civil service. For the government of the Raj, the important thing was that the princes were here, on the lawn, for the group photograph. The Viceroy, Lord Chelmsford, shuffled along in full ceremonial regalia. He never seemed quite comfortable in it, and it made him look like the doorman at Claridge's. For a man who normally resembled a malnourished undertaker, he'd scrubbed up pretty well, but next to the princes he appeared as drab as a pigeon in a field full of peacocks. "Which one's our man?" "That one," Surrender-Not replied, nodding towards a tall, fine-featured individual in a pink silk turban. The prince we were here to see had been third down the stairs, and was first in line to the throne of a kingdom tucked away in the wilds of Orissa, somewhere to the southwest of Bengal. His Serene Highness the Crown Prince Abir Singh Sai of Sambalpore had requested our presence, or rather Surrender-Not's presence. They'd been at Harrow together. I was here only because I'd been ordered to attend. It was a direct command from Lord Taggart, the Commissioner of Police, who claimed it was a request from the Viceroy himself. "These talks are of paramount importance to the government of the Raj," he'd intoned, "and Sambalpore's agreement is vital to their success." It was hard to believe Sambalpore could be vital to anything. Even finding it on a map, obscured as it was under the R of Orissa, took a magnifying glass and a degree of patience that I seemed to lack these days. The place was tiny, the size of the Isle of Wight, with a population to match. And yet, here I was, about to eavesdrop on a chat between its Crown Prince and Surrender-Not, because the government of India had deemed it a matter of imperial importance. The princes took their places around the Viceroy for the official photograph. The most important were seated on gilded chairs, with the lesser figures standing behind them on a bench. Prince Abir was seated to the Viceroy's right. The princes made uncomfortable small talk as the furniture
Sample complete. Ready to continue?